Wewe andika hapo 25th cut one, because next week tunaweza maliza hii syllabus. Anga mambo mingi ni venye tu maswali mingi na like unapatanga maswali mingi ni at off, so remember kile tumefanya vitu za new marks, bisection method 10 marks, ingine iko inaitwa aje, regular false method ni section B ila methods yenye umetumia hapo another 10 marks, so hizo ni 40. Haya, kile tutasoma leo na next week numerical integration that 20 marks. That marks. Pepe inakuwa 100 marks, utafanya zote nijichaguliange. So bright. I've never taught other student like this one. Listen. Haya, hiyo ilikuwa inatafuta njia ya kumtusi. Tuanze safari ya leo. Good evening everyone. Did a single lesson, either physical or online. No pressure. Haya. Share the screen. Sorry. Let me erase here. Of course, hizi ni vitu tulisema na nyinyi, the normal distribution. Yeah. Let me erase for these people. And I'm sure you don't remember anything. Actually, that reminds me, there was somebody in the class, hata value unastahili kusoma from normal distribution curve, yeye tumia yenye alisoma kwa chat GTP. Najua chat GTP inakwambianga from a normal distribution, the probability is this one. But anyway. Yeah. Of course, I have the problem with the whiteboard. It is not erasing everything. I don't know why, but I will try my best to maximize whatever is important. I'll use a different color for that. So remember, next week we are going to have our last lesson. So that's next week, but one we can have our cut next week, but two we shall see. Anyway, let's finish the syllabus first. Let's now write a subtopic. Should I teach you finite differences or normal distribution? Let me teach you finite differences. This is now the second major topic, finite differences. Finite differences. As always, it is always my task to remind you what are we doing here. Let me admit. Okay, Shamim, can you confirm that you can see the screen and you can hear me clearly?
Yes, I can see the screen and I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So I am here to remind you, why do we need finite differences? And why these mathematical name for our syllabus. So I'll explain in a layman language. You go to a laboratory, and this time in a laboratory, you take a small table. Maybe you are measuring temperatures against time. So this is temperatures against time. You realize some miracles that when the time is 10 seconds, maybe the temperature was 15 degrees. After 20 seconds, the temperature was 20. After 30 seconds, maybe the temperature was 50. After 40 seconds, the temperature is 90. So this is something that you can get. There are very many parameters that we can draw tables from. But the big question is, can we find a value of the unknown? Finding the value of unknown, we must now, for example, I can ask you, what is the temperature when the time is 15 seconds? As a physics form 3 student, you will draw a graph. Perfect. Because of course you draw a graph, you try, maybe it's a curve, or maybe it is a straight line, or maybe you draw a line of the best fit. Then try to ask yourself where is the 15 second is intersecting with the temperature, and you'll get an answer there. But now, we all know there is no graph in university. So the big question, how do we do it mathematically? The answer is yes. We use finite differences. And write the starting point there. Say this. This is a branch of mathematics. This is a branch of mathematics. This is a branch of mathematics dealing with data in tabular form. Tabular is their table form. In tabular form. So this. There are operators. There are operators for finite differences. So let's first of all do some operators. Then I'll tell you how we use those operators to estimate those values. There are operators. Roman 1. Forward difference operator. Forward difference operator. We are going to use this symbol for it. So ukiona nimechora hii, ujue hiyo ni operator inaitwa, it's called a del. Actually it's capital del. We call it a del. Or some people call it a delta, capital delta. Number 2, backward difference operator. Na tunaichoranga hivi. Ni hiyo ka triangle, lakini sasa kaangalia nje. Hapa kuko na karaini, ngoja nikuchore vizuri. Ni ka triangle, ni triangle. Haya, nitakuonyesha venye sasa hii bado inatumika kutupea values unknown. Number 3, shift operator. Tutatumia hii. Number 4, D operator. Hii hatutasoma. Let me admit not possible. Hii hatutasoma because D operator you did it in ordinary differential equation and I taught you. So these are just the operators that we are using. So for our case in numerical analysis, we are going to specifically deal with the first three. The fourth one, it was dealt by when we are doing it is not testable in exams. These three. So let us we see what are these things. So let us start with the first one. Forward difference operator. Forward difference operator. That is the first topic. Haya, na tumesema unachora triangle. Haya, say this. By definition, let y is equal to f of x. By definition, let y is equals to f of x be a function taking the nodal points x0, x1, x2 ... up to xn. Say this. Then the forward difference operator, this way, the way I'm writing, ama tumeandika, tumesema unasema delta is equals to f of x plus h minus f of x. As long as you remember Mr. George Masharia, never forget that formula. Haya, say this where h is called a differencing value. Haya. Sasa hapa ndo tunachoranga tables mingi sana. So be ready to do some tables here. So for those students who are joining, we are simply asking ourselves a question that can we estimate some values in an experiment given a table without drawing a graph. So for that case, we are now dealing with a branch of mathematics which deals with tabular form, and we are calling it finite differences. So let us draw the table for this data. So let us say this. I said bear with me because now the duster today is not erasing everything, but bear with me. So haya, sasa natoka tuchore ka table. remember you went to laboratory. Don't do it because I'm going to explain. And don't do it. I'll tell you when to do it. So remember here we have the values of x, kama vile nilitumia example ya temperature, against f of x ama y. So what we do here, remember the first value tunaipea x naught. It remember like it's 1 or 4. So here of course it has a y naught. Remember y is equals to f of x. So remember here y is equals to f of x. So the rule is always this way. Skip one line before you draw x1. So nitachora x1 hapa chini and a corresponding value of y1. Skip another line, uchore x2 with a corresponding y2. So ladies and gentlemen, see, I'm going to write here delta, the first delta of the function. So I still have here another line in here. Look, the way I'm doing it. Tumesema by definition, ukiwa na delta of f of x, delta of any function is a step ahead na ndio tunaita x plus h. So this h ni kama venye umeenda kwa laboratory, kama venye nimempea kaile katebo yetu, nikakupea 10, 20, 30, so the h is 10 here. Na tulikuwa na temperature, so ni kama venye unaweza chora graph 1 2 3 x equal 1 y 1 2 3 4. So h will be a difference of 1. That's why we're calling a difference. Minus f of x. Hii do definition nimempea. So hapa, look, if I need delta of y naught, for example, remember y is always f of x. So that's why, so the corresponding, the first value here is y naught. So delta of y naught need the value of the function one step ahead. Now one step ahead ni ile value iko hapo next, ndio tunaita y1. So hapa nitakuja niseme delta of y naught ni one step ahead, ndio tunaita y1, minus f of x. Na f of x ni the original function. So ulikuwa unajiuliza delta ya y naught, so minus y naught. Ebu angalia venye nimeiweka. That's why I drew I left a space between two values do nichore hapo katikati. So the delta of y naught ni hii minus hii. So the next one, let us now test this one. Hii itakuwa delta of y1. So delta of y1 ni the step ahead, so which is y2, minus, so remember it is f of x. F of x is y, minus y1. Jameni, unajua sometimes online, kama ni physical naonanga venye mnaniangalia, na online hamunioni. Sijui sasa nitamwambiaje, mnanielewa? Because hiyo ndo language tutakuwa tunaongea delta. So when you join sasa anasikia delta, but I hope mnanielewa. Ati delta ya function ni ile value iko mbele yake minus hiyo value, minus that value. So kama ningekuwa na x3 na y3, ningechora delta of y3. So that's why tunakaa hapa katikati. Haya, kama unataka ingine utaita delta squared of y. So ladies and gentlemen, hapa nitaandika delta squared ya nini? Ya y naught. Remember it is this function. So the step ahead, so hapa nitakuja niseme it is delta y1 minus delta y naught. So ni delta ya hii function iko hapa ni ile value iko hapo mbele minus the original value. So ladies and gentlemen, wakati sasa tutakuja tu ile mambo nilikuwa nakwambia missing value, tutatumia hii ikiwa our main thing. So hiyo usisahau na hiyo kwenye nimesako delta za y naught. Hebu chora sasa, usijali, hii mambo utaelewa pole pole. Chora hiyo table. Na ujue hapa nimekwambia utapata marks kama 12 kwa every finite difference. That's why class rep nimesema before we gear that hii ndio itakuwa our second last lesson. Juu hii mambo haina mambo mingi. Uzuri wa hii maswali ya hii unit inakuanga max 10, max 15. Inanga pressure. Haya. I wish kuwekuwa na emoji ya kusmile because ningemwambia msmile ndo tuendelee. Lakini kama tumeelewana kabisa because kwa class Eliud unanismailia. Hai. Good. Let's now do something here. Let us now take question. Question number 1. Question number 1. Question number 1. Question number 1. Contract. Tuseme umepewa kaswali ya the forward difference table for sorry ya finance kaingia haraka sana 4. So mimi unajua kwa exam nitakuchorea katebo venye unachoreanga, but sasa because tunajua ni nini tunafanya, wewe tuchore table directly. Hapa kulikuwa na x na hapa kuna y. So tuseme when x is 1 ama temperature was 1, this was less than. When the temperature is 2, remember when x is 2, let's say the y is 30, 50, 437, 460. Remember to leave a line in between. Na ndo nimeambia watu before the end of this lecture ama before the end of the four difference operators, wakati tumaliza hii operator whatever, ni lazima uniambie what is the temperature at 2.5. That is the whatever we are heading. That is the main aim of this, drawing this operator. But for now, let us teach ourselves to draw this table. Remember, this is x naught, this is x1, this is x3, this is y naught, y1, y2, y3. tutole delta ya kwanza. So notation is very important. Katikati ya huyu na huyu, remember it is delta of y naught. Si delta ya y1, because delta ya y1 ni minus whatever. So delta of y naught, y1 minus y naught. Y1 ni 30, so the answer is 20. So 50 minus 30, 20. So actually in an exam you don't write this notation. I'm just interested in here deltas. So 20, 60 minus 50, that is 10. Delta squared, si lazima uandike hizo, what is delta of whatever, lakini hapa junior lazima uandike delta, hapa ni delta squared. Unasema 20 minus 20 ni 0. Remember it is this value minus hii. Haya, hii gine itakuwa 10 minus 20. 10 minus 20, that is what? Negative 10. So uko na mpaka ya mwisho, mpaka ufike mwisho. So delta cubed, of course, ni negative 10 minus 0, that is negative 10. So kenye kicha muhimu, hii value tutaita delta squared of y naught, tutaita delta cubed of y naught. Hii ndo tuko interested nayo for this. So hii ndo tuko interested nayo tukikuja interpolation. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Thumbs up haraka haraka to the example number 2. Example number 2. Haya. Sorry, number 2. So I hope example number 2, amazing. Say this. By constructing, an example number 2, by constructing a forward, by constructing a forward difference table, a forward difference table, and taking the second order difference, and taking the second order difference as a constant, find the sixth term, find the sixth term of the sequence 8, 12, 19, 29, 42. So that is a sequence. You don't know the next term. But now, you see now the general knowledge here. You don't know the term. So let us now see whether this operator will help us to take this term. Tuchore hii category. We don't expect 8, x1, the value is 12, value is 19, please, x3, value is 29, or the third 29, term, the fifth term is 42, term, or my x5, remember it's x not sixth term, we don't know it, so okay. What are we are told operator is a constant. Mimi nataka unisaidie kutafuta second operator. Haya, hebu jaribu kujifunza kutafuta ya kwanza. Remember 12 minus 8, that is 4. minus 19, that is 10. And of course, k minus 42, that is k minus 5. Remember, this difference in between. So, hebu nitafutia second dot. Nitafutia value zake alafu tupaka pamoja. Somebody please. Let's do it together. Remember 7 minus 4 hapo katikati, because by then sijui kama table yako inachora vizuri. Unaona like at the end of the day utakuwa na katebo, kuna line na kuna horizontal ina form. There is a line like unaweza chora hizo values zote. But because this is whatever, but anyway, 7 minus 4 unaweka hapo value katikati ni 3. So niweke hapa katikati hapa 3. 10 minus 7 naweka 3. 13 minus 10 niweke 3. K minus 45 minus 13, that is k minus 55. But you know, we were told that the second order, remember this is the first order, delta 1, delta squared is the second order, is a constant. So we can always say k minus 55 was also typically 3. So because everything is a constant, so of course now we can agree their known term is 58. Is 58. Is 58. Haya, tunaendelea polepole, msijali hata kidogo. Haya. Another common question, let's go. Another common questions. Question number 3. Question number 3. Question, let me erase here. Question number 3. Question number 3. Find What's the problem? What's happening here?
Hi, mwalimu.
Eh?
Pole, I think my net imekuwa na buffering. How did we come to k minus 55 is 3?
Because from the question we were told that the second difference was a constant.
Oh, the second difference was a constant. Oh yeah, okay.
So remember the constants, kila kitu ni 3 hapo. Yep. So also k minus 55 must also be what? 3.
Okay.
Okay, good, perfect. Find the following. Roman 1. Na hii nitakuletea. Delta of e power ax. Roman 2. Delta squared of e power x. Roman 3. Delta of sine of x. Haya, let us do them together. Let us do them together. Let us do them together here. Haya, let's start with the first one. Of course, I'm going to write the rule that delta of any function is always equals to f of x plus h minus f of x. That is the rule that we wrote somewhere there. So let us start with the delta of e power x. So number 1, delta of e power ax. So remember the function, the function f of x ni hii tunaita e power ax. So ni kama wenye ulikuwa unaulizwa calculus 1, what is f of x plus h? So look at it this way. Ni kwenye kuna x naeka x plus h. So nitakuja niseme e power a, but kwenye kuna x sasa nitaeka x plus h. So this one I can simply write e power ax plus ah. So if that is the case scenario, so it means delta of e power ax is basically e power ax plus ah minus e power ax, because delta of a function is a function with the x plus h minus the original function which was e power ax. But nyinyi mnajua hesabu mnajua hesabu. E power ax, so this one I can write it as e power ax multiplied by e power ah minus e power ax, because mathematically you know that if they have in the same base and there was an addition there, so from indices they must have originated from multiplication. So this is e power ax is common, so e power ah minus 1, and that is the answer. Hakuna mambo magumu hapo, ni ile tu kwenye kuna x unaweka x plus h, then unajaribu kutumia laws of indices. Let us do the second question. There utaelewa hii mambo pole pole. So let me erase the left hand side and show you. So let's hear delta squared of e power x? That is the second question. Higher. So this implies it is delta of delta e power x. It was applied twice. It was applied twice. So kwanza nitatafuta hii ya ndani. Nikuje nijiuliza what is delta of e power x. Na tumesema vizuri that delta of any function is a function x plus h minus the original function. So our f of x ni hii function niko hapa e power x. You can relate. Unataka kujua delta hiyo function. So f of x plus h yake nimemwambia ni kwenye kuna x, una x plus h. So this implies e power x plus h, because ni pale pako na x nimeweka e plus x plus h. So it means delta of e power x is basically e power x plus h minus e power x. Tuko pamoja mpaka hapo? Tumetafuta delta of e power x. Thumbs up somebody please. Perfect. One person. Any other person? Or maybe a clarification, a question please. Haya. Kama hakuna swali tunaweza endelea. Haya, look. Haya. So to start, actually we can simplify it. Let us simplify it. Let us simplify it. Let us simplify it, because remember the question was apply delta twice. So we have already applied once, but let us simplify it further so that it can be easier for us to. So delta of e power x is the same as writing e power x multiplied by e power h. Remember, these are rows of indices minus e power x. So e power x is common. So I can be left with e power h minus 1, because e power x is common. So now look, now I can write it directly, that delta squared of e power x, remember from whatever I'm coloring with red, let me color it with red, it is a prime delta twice. Na ushatafuta hii. Na unajua the definition of delta ni f of x plus h minus f of x. So ni hii function yote nimepata hapa. Hii function yote nimepata hapa. Popote pako na x, nitaandika x plus h. So utakuwa na kitu kama hiyo. So e power h minus 1 is not affected. So I'm going to have into bracket e power x plus h. I've just written the same thing. Ni venye tu nimetaka kuanza na hii. Because it's all the same. Minus the original function. And the original function, remember the original function for this case ni hii. Ni hii. So minus the original function, that is e power x, e power h minus 1. Hebu uliza swali before tuendelee. Hakuna. Wanafunzi wangu wanakuwa werevu. Hawa wanafunzi wanakuanga werevu. Kwanza ufanye makosa, wajiweke ni strategic position. They are very bright. Strategic position Shamim akae karibu na Beatrice. Beatrice akae karibu na Koros akae nyuma. Wakae na Frederick. Eliud wakae hapo karibu na Peter. Wakikaa hivyo, hawa wanafunzi wanakuwa werevu sana. Unajua hata beta ningine ni kuangalia mpira juu. Sometimes nakaanga hapa na shidwa. Namuelezea hivi yote nichukue usiku wangu alafu mkae wenye mnataka. Anyway, let's continue. E power h minus 1 is common. You can also see it there. If you factor, it is here and it is here. E power x plus h minus e power x. My instincts are always, and my subconscious is very strong. Sasa kuna akili yangu imeniambia kuna mtu amewekelea kalamu chini, akaamua sasa apige picha. Piga. Before niele hiyo page nyingine. Piga hiyo picha. Haya. Nyinyi ndio mko. Mumepiga picha. Hebu angalia hapa. Kuna pahali tulikuwa tumesema, hebu nitumie kalamu ya green. Tulikuwa tumesema e power x plus h minus e power x is the same as this one, because tulikuwa tumesolve hiyo. Hii nimetick. So naweza kuja niandike hapa e power h minus 1. Haya, e plus x plus h minus e power x ni the same na e power x, ama nianza na e power h minus 1 multiplied by e power x. Haya, e power h minus 1 times e power h minus 1, it is e power h minus 1 squared multiplied by e power x. Unajua kwa exam nitakuja aje? Nitakwambia prove that delta squared of e power x is e power h minus 1 squared e power x. Hebu andika hapo na uandike hiyo star. Hiyo nitakwambia prove hivi. Na hivyo ndio utaprove. Haya, let's go to question number 3. Piga picha. Screenshot kwanza. Wacha kujisumbua na picha. Screenshot. Haya, number 3. Number 3. What is delta of sine of x? Sasa unajua venye nafanya sasa. Haya. Delta of sine of x, haya, is equals to, remember it is f of x plus h. Kwenye kuna x niweke hiyo. So it is the same as sine x plus h minus the original function. Hivyo tu. Hii ina mambo mingi, because kuna zile vitabu mnabebaga kila time, hata unit ya biology, hata unit ya physics, hata unit ya nini, thermodynamic nisikia mnabeba, hata public health mlibeba, ati ndo uweke mwakenya hapo ndani. Iko na hii formula inaitangwa SMP table. Iko na formula ya sin a plus b, na sin a plus b inakuanga sin a cos b plus sin b cos a. So iko pahali. So ni kumaanisha sin x plus h utaandika hivi sine x, sine h, sorry, not sine x. So sine h, sine x cos h plus sine h cos x. Tulikuwa tunaziita compound formulas of cos minus sine x. So and that is the answer. Hiyo haina shida mingi. So ni just kufugua na hiyo ka formula. So those are some of the questions that you can be asked up to that point. As a professional teacher, I'll never ask you whether you have understood because I know. But anyway, during the exam, ukipata hizo maswali na because nilisema nitakuja mapema, najua kuna mtu ataambia ChatGPT, hebu niandikie message professional, itakwambia uanza na hello sir, my name is Eliud Kamau, registration number, kindly help. Anyway, najua umeelewa. Haya, ladies and gentlemen, let's do the last bit of today. Let us do the last bit of today, which is very important. Very important, because I told you that is whatever we are supposed to reach. In 10 minutes, I'll be done, because this is basically explanation. Haya. Write a subheading there. But kama umechoka mnaweza niambia tufugie hapo. Tupatane next week. But kama are you okay we continue? Arvin is okay. Haya, perfect. If his Arvin is okay. Arvin is a bachelor. Don't and we know. Good. Haya. Let us just 10 minutes. Ni venye tu tulijoin tukiwa tumechelewa kidogo. I had planned just for 1 hour. Because now, I told you at the beginning, why do we need all these one? So right there, write a subheading. Interpolation using forward difference operator. Interpolation using forward difference operator. Say this. Actually, I'm saying interpolation. Let me write the spelling for interpolation. It is the one that I've written here. Say this. Interpolation. Say this. Interpolation is the process. Interpolation is the process of finding the missing value. Say this. For forward difference operator. We use
Come up again kindly.
Interpolation is the process of finding the missing value. Are you okay? Say this. For forward interpolation, we use Newton forward interpolation formula. Underline the word this one. We use the Newton forward interpolation formula. Let us write it there. Let us write it there. Let me use even a different color here, because this formula is important. Say this: f of x is equals to y naught. Na unakumbuka y naught nilikwambia nini? Ni ile value ya kwanza ya y plus u all over 1 factorial. 1 factorial kila mtu anajua kutafuta, nilimuonyesha calculator mathematics 1. But kama ujui, ChatGPT iko hapo, usiogope. Kwanza najua hata mume install hiyo app. Haya, u naught delta of y naught plus u into bracket u minus 1 all over 2 factorial delta squared of y naught plus u minus 1 u minus 2 all over 3 factorial delta cubed of y naught plus dot 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 plus dot dot dot, where u is equals to x minus x naught over h. X naught, ile x naught ya kwanza. Haya, umeandika hivyo. Haya, sasa hii kwa wenye haja kuja kwa classes zangu, hii ndo formula 5 inastahili kuingia exam room na haiko kwa SMP table. Frederick, where you go?
Yes.
If the formula is not in if the formula is not in the SMP table, what do?
We make it find its way in the exam room.
Brilliant boy. Very brilliant. We make it find its place in the exam room. So make sure that formula finds itself there. What if the invigilator becomes so harsh for you? Frederick? And he start frisking you? Arvin Kamau has an answer. You people are funny. We call George. That's nice. Yeah. Now, that formula is so important. The easiest way to find itself is ask for permission. Eda, chukua dakika 2. Sasa shida, kuna formula zingine unachukua dakika 2, ukirudi ni kustue. Omba ruhusa tena. Haya, let's go. Now, let us take an example to see how now it is possible. Haya, let me take the first example. Let me take the first example for you. Let me take the first example for you. A very nice example here. A very nice example here for you. Hi, only one example. The other examples we shall do maybe next lesson. I just want you to understand the point. So hii formula, I hope umecopy. Of course, kama inaenda mpaka delta 4, remember it is u minus 1, u minus 2, u minus 3 over 4 factorial delta 4. Of course, you can generate the formula forever you want. Example number 1. I promised you hii tunamaliza, si kitu gumu. Example number 1. Example number 1. Haya. Square root of 12,500 is 111.8034. Haya, comma, square root of 12,510. I'm just guessing these values. I just want you to assume ni kama venye umeingia kwa laboratory ukafind these values, that temperature against time is 84.81. Square root of 520 was given to be 111.8928. And the big question is, of course, without using a calculator directly, find square root of 12,516. That is our question, using the Newton Ford formula. Let us draw a table. Let us draw a table here, ladies and gentlemen. Let us draw a table. Higher. X against y. Remember now our y is basically like a square root of a number. Remember, it's a function. The first value, so we write 12,500. Here, skip a line, 12,510. Skip another line, 12,520. Skip another line, what did I miss? I wanted another one. Sorry. Let us add another one. Square root of 530. We have to have a very minute so that I can explain something. Square root of 12,530 was given to be 111.9375. So let's have 12,530. So we have the values 111.8034, 111.808481, 1111.8928, 111.9375. Ladies and gentlemen, with all due respect, give me the first delta, give me second delta, and of course that delta. Give me the values kindly. Harakisha. Remember, it is this value minus this one minus, so it is 0 point something. So kama unatumia calculator na uko na mic on, kindly unaweza nisomea kutumia calculator. Somebody please. Nisome hizo value tusome pamoja. Shamimu unanisomea 0 point ya kwanza
0.0447.
Haya pili
The same.
hata hii ingine.
Yes.
Haya, so hii ni kumaanisha delta squared itakuwa 0 0, isn't it? Haya, delta cubed itakuwa bado 0. Haya, remember I took a lot of time to tell you that this is y naught, y1, y2, y3, x naught, x1, x2, x3. Hii tulipea jina delta y naught. Remember we call it delta y naught. Hii tukaipea value delta squared y naught, na hii tukaipea value delta cubed y naught. So huyu mtu anaitwa Newton. Kila mtu anajuanga Newton. Alikuja akasema there is a way we can interpolate, there is a way we can find the missing value by basically using this formula. So I'm going to repeat the formula, but now I'm going to insert whatever is important. So hata usijaribu kusolve hii kwanza. Haya, hebu angalia formula inasema, kuna pahali nimekuambia kwenye let me write here. Let me use a different pen here. Haya. So u is always x. Remember this x is any value yenye unataka. So nisema any value unataka or over h. Haya, so nitakuja niseme x minus x naught. X naught, remember ni ile value ya kwanza. So pahali popote pako na u nitaka 12, x naught nitaka 12,500 or over h. Can somebody give me what is h? If umenielewa from the first day, from the beginning. Somebody can give me what is h? Mtu aniambie what is h? Somebody please. Niko kwa mic. H yetu ni gapi? Remember it is the differencing operator. Ama the differencing value for x's. What is our h? Ayai. H ni gapi?
Uh, 10.
10. Brilliant. 10. Brilliant. Anthony Wadeli. That's very great. Anthony Wadeli umebakisha tu kufanya exam. Because remember, it's the value that is taking the differences of the independent variable. So, ni ile value iko difference ya hizi zote. Na ni za x. Tuelewane ni za x. So, our h is 10. Haya, hebu tuandike formula vizuri. Chukua kwenye kuna formula. It is f of x is equals to, remember we can also say y. F of x is equals to y naught. Y naught yetu ni 111.8034 plus I'm just using another pen here, plus u umeniambia kwenye kuna u naeka x minus 12,500 or over 10 over 1 factorial. Na sisi sote tunajuanga 1 factorial ni 1. Remember factorial ni nilikuwa nakwambia 1 factorial is 1. 2 factorial ni 2 times 1. 3 factorial ni 3 times 2 times 1. So 1 factorial ni 1. So any number divided by 1 is 1. Multiplied by delta y naught. delta y naught Shamim ameniambia ni 0.40447. Haya, study delta squared, study the next term because I know delta squared is 0. So that value reduces to 0. Even delta cubed reduces to 0, so the value is still 0. So actually, I can respect this formula. Hii hata naweza irespect na kara kubwa because hii ndo answer yetu for anything that we want. This is the answer for anything that we want. This is the answer. So this is the polynomial. So the question is, atakuuliza find the square root of 12,516. So ni pahali popote pako na x, nitaandika 12,516. So nitakuja kwa hii formula yangu. So ningekuuliza hata 12,009, ungeweka hapa kwa hii formula. So ladies and gentlemen, would you now place x? So kwa hii formula, so 111.8034 plus x minus 12,500. Sasa lakini x uweke 12,516. Yenye ulikuwa umeulizwa. Hivyo tu, na unapata 9 marks. Actually, if you remember, you did it in module 3 for engineering if you did a neck exam. But anyway, you don't remember. Haya, ukiweka hiyo 12,516, utapata the square root of 12,516. Ladies and gentlemen, we can call it the end of today's lecture. If you have understood whatever I've done. We're going to do other examples and I'll explain as we continue. So, if no further ado, we can say good night. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. We meet next lesson. Remember next week, but one, sit in cut, day 25. Now we said no setting, or you go. Hii ni kati yangu ya mwisho ya hesabu. So usijaribu kusema ati mwalimu am attending a wedding, you know. Excuse me, sir. No. So 25th, make sure you avail for the cut.